Welcome back to Thunder Today, Speed Sunday edition. I'm Alex, and if you're listening with coffee in hand, congrats. You picked the right morning because motorsports was loud this week.
So loud. Like Tokyo at night loud. I'm Riley, and we've got a Formula E finish that was basically a magic trick, plus some big team news, a tribute that hit the whole paddock hard, and, because motorsport is never just motorsport anymore, Jimmie Johnson getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That still feels fake, by the way. Like, you're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and there's a NASCAR legend on the sidewalk.
I mean, if anyone was going to do it, it's Jimmie. But let's start with the Tokyo night race, Formula E's first ever Tokyo night round, and it delivered. I was watching like, okay, cool, we're settling into the ending, and nope, last-minute robbery.
Yeah, Dan Ticktum, Cupra Kiro, starting 6th, and somehow he ends the night as the winner after pulling off one of those he's actually in position to win this races.
And it wasn't just luck either. It was that super aggressive approach early on. He basically went, I'm not waiting around, and fired off his big tools early. PIT boost, attack mode, he used them before a lot of people were even thinking about it.
Yeah, and for anybody who's newer to Formula E, that's the chess part. In this series, it's not just who's fast, it's who's fast at the right time, and who's got energy left when it matters.
Exactly. And Ticktum's early push meant that after the shuffling, after the stops and the timing of it all, he's effectively the net leader, even if on the road it doesn't always look like it in the moment.
But then Jake Dennis happens. Andretti's Jake Dennis. And you think, okay, in-game. He hits that late boost, 50 kilowatts, all-wheel drive, lap 29, right? And he just slices through.
He does the classic I've been saving something move. Goes by Nick Cassidy, goes by Ticktum, and suddenly Dennis is in control. And at that point I'm like, all right, that's it. That's your story. Andretti wins the first Tokyo night race. Put it in the history books.
Except energy. Energy is the villain in Formula E. You can have a lead and still be in trouble if you spend too much, and Dennis, he had a lift early. You could see it coming like, he's protecting what's left.
And that's where Ticktum is just lurking. Like a cat waiting near the food bowl.
Penultimate corner. Not even the final chicane, which is why it's so brutal. Dennis lifts a touch early because the battery situation is critical, and Ticktum spots it instantly. Boom, he throws it down the inside and makes it stick.
It's one of those overtakes where it's clean, but it's also kind of savage. Like you can hear Dennis in his helmet going, no, no, no.
And the margin was tiny. Closest winning gap of the season, and it's Ticktum's second Formula E win, which, considering how chaotic this season's been, is saying something.
Also, can we talk about the season stat that makes my brain melt? 9 different winners in the last 9 rounds.
That's insane. That's not parity. That's like competitive whiplash. Every weekend you're like, so who's the favorite? And the answer is yes.
And behind those two, Nick Cassidy brings it home in third. And normally we'd be like, cool, podium, congrats. But this one had a whole emotional layer to it.
Yeah, Citroën Racing had a really heavy week. They were coming into this weekend after the tragic passing of their team principal, Cyril Blaze.
The paddock did a minute's silence before round 14. Everyone, the whole ecosystem, teams, media, officials. It's one of those moments where even in a hyper-competitive series, you're reminded it's still a community.
And that makes Cassidy's podium feel bigger than just points. It's a tribute without saying tribute, you know? It's just the team showing up and doing the job on a tough weekend.
Okay, now let's get into the championship ripple effects. Because Tokyo didn't just give us drama at the front, there was chaos for the title picture.
Pascal Wehrlein, the standings leader, gets tangled up with Antonio Felix da Costa. And he doesn't finish. That's a massive swing.
Yeah, a DNF at this point in the season is like dropping your phone screen down and watching it bounce twice. You already know it's bad before you pick it up.
And it drags Jake Dennis right back into contention. Even though he lost the win at the line, well, basically at the penultimate turn, he still walks away with a result that keeps him in the mix.
But the big beneficiary? Mitch Evans. Jaguar's Mitch Evans takes 4th, and that's enough to put him on top of the driver's standings. 144 points to Wehrlein's 141.
3 points. That's basically like a decent qualifying session penalty in terms of emotional damage.
And Edo Mortar quietly does the smart thing. 5th place, solid points, just hanging around. Those are the results that become terrifying later, when everyone else is tripping over each other.
Team standings-wise, Jaguar extends its advantage over Porsche in the team's battle, but Porsche gets a little payback in the manufacturer's standings.
It's so Formula E that there are like multiple wars happening at the same time. Drivers, teams, manufacturers, and every race reshuffles each one differently.
Now, lighter topic for a second, because Tokyo also brought out some style points.
Ah, yes, the Andretti X Liberty Walk thing. That special chrome and blue livery designed to pop under the Tokyo Bay nightlights.
It's such a Tokyo vibe, too. Chrome under neon, going through a night street circuit. It just makes sense.
They unveiled it at the Liberty Walk shop in Harajuku, which is such a flex. Jake Dennis was there, Felipe Drugovich was there, and Liberty Walk's founder Wataru Kato. Fans got to see it up close before it even hit the track.
And it wasn't just the car, bespoke race suits, too. I love when motorsport leans into the culture of the city instead of just parachuting in.
Totally. And speaking of Andretti, they also got a big technical headline. Nissan is going to supply them with powertrains for the Gen 4 era.
That's huge. Multi-year deal, two of the more established names in the championship linking up. And Nissan announces it ahead of their home race weekend, which is not subtle.
Not subtle at all, but it makes sense. Gen 4 is the next big step for Formula E. Bigger performance targets, more development, and partnerships like that can be the difference between we're competitive and we're fighting for titles.
And it's a legit boost for Andretti too. You're basically buying into a manufacturer's roadmap. You're not starting from scratch.
Also, quick merch corner. There's a special edition New Era cap for the 2026 TDK Tokyo E-Prix, where the Formula E logo gets reimagined as a neon koi fish, artwork by Shotopop.
That is the most Tokyo thing possible. Neon koi? Yes. Take my money.
Same. Alright, let's jump series for a second, because this next story is such a wild crossover moment. Jimmie Johnson gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
7-time NASCAR Cup champion. First Bala Hall of Famer. Now also, Hollywood Sidewalk Immortal. And they called it the first motorsports competitor to get a star specifically for sports entertainment, which is an interesting way to frame it.
It's like, yes, he's a competitor, but he's also a cultural figure. And the resume is ridiculous. 7 titles, 83 cup wins, 5 championships in a row, which still sounds made up, and he's the only motorsports athlete to be named AP Male Athlete of the Year.
And beyond stats, the thing people always say about Jimmie is he's kind of annoyingly grounded. Humble, curious, willing to try new stuff.
Right. He didn't just do NASCAR and stop. He's done endurance stuff. He's been in ownership as co-owner of Legacy Motor Club. He's been in broadcasting, business, philanthropy. He's built a second and third act while still being Jimmie Johnson.
And he said the honor was humbling, which, yeah, that's on brand. He talked about growing up in Southern California and Hollywood being this symbol where dreams become reality. And then he's like, I didn't think racing would take me here. That's a pretty cool line, honestly.
Also the timing note. They're already talking about his final NASCAR Cup start being the 2027 Daytona 500. So it's like he's still connected to the sport's future, while we're also celebrating the legacy.
Okay, last chunk. More behind the scenes, but still important. Racing America announced a partnership with ShopLink, powered by Chuzo, which is part of Perfect Vision.
They're calling it the official high-speed internet partner for 2026 and 2027. And that might sound like, okay, cool, internet. But modern race coverage basically runs on connectivity.
Exactly. Live streaming, media production, race operations, digital engagement. If you've ever had a broadcast glitch during a last lap battle, you understand why reliable internet is suddenly a headline.
And it covers a pretty big footprint. Trans Am, SVRA, International GT, Formula Regional Americas, F4 US Ligier Junior Formula. That's a lot of weekends, a lot of tracks, and a lot of people trying to move a lot of data fast.
Plus, they're not just slapping logos on things. The idea is Racing America introduces ShopLink to team owners, sponsors, business partners, as both connectivity and even workforce solutions, like employee benefits connectivity. It's a whole ecosystem play.
And then ShopLink gets branding across race weekends, digital platforms, hospitality. Basically, they're trying to make it feel like a two-way partnership, not just a check and a sticker.
So when we zoom out, this is kind of the theme of the week. Racing is on-track drama, yes, but it's also community, tech alliances, culture collabs, and the way motorsport bleeds into the bigger world.
Totally. You've got the Tokyo night race giving us a last corner swing, a paddock coming together to honor someone they lost, a title fight flipping on a DNF, and then like Hollywood giving a star to a guy who made his name going 200 miles an hour in an oval.
And we didn't even mention the emotional whiplash of being Jake Dennis. You make the perfect late move, you're leading, you can taste it, and then energy forces you to lift, and Ticktum's there. Like, I'd be replaying that corner in my head for days.
Oh, for sure. But at the same time, that's why Formula E is addictive. It punishes tiny mistakes and rewards timing and bravery. And Ticktum, love him or hate him, he's fearless in those moments.
All right, that's going to do it for this Speed Sunday edition of Thunder today. If you're following Formula E, keep your eyes on that driver's table. Evans leading, Wehrlein right there, Dennis back in the fight. It's tight.
And if you're bouncing between series, congrats, you're living the good life. Formula E chaos, NASCAR legends going Hollywood, and the business side of racing getting more important every season.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who texts you, "Did you see that finish?" before you've even opened the app. We'll be back with more Thunder today. Same speed, same noise.
Until next time, stay fast, stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next Speed Sunday.